course, one thing she didn't do today was make any suggestions she was going to raise taxes, and that's been the big elephant in the room during the election campaign. The Conservative Party always insisted that Labour, once in power, would raise taxes. During the campaign, Labour was much more evasive on that subject. Do you think it's inevitable that at some point this is what Rachel Reeves is going to have to do?
Well, she's either going to have to make really big spending cuts in UK terms. I mean, to other people listening in the US, these numbers might seem very small, but to us they seem relatively big, even though public spending in total is around £1 trillion. She's either going to have to do one of a few things that she might not want to do. She's either got to make further spending cuts next year, including probably to capital programs. She's already announced some capital cuts now, or she's going to have to borrow more. It'll depend when we get the forecast from the independent forecast, the Office of Budget Responsibility, whether they forecast that growth is going to give her some more revenue than expected. That might ease things. But she's been very clear that she wants to stick to quite tough fiscal rules. She might decide to give herself a bit of leeway by changing some of the definitions of borrowing or something like that, or she's going to have to raise taxes. What Labour keeps on saying is they won't raise what they call taxes on working people, so the big main taxes, income tax, value-added tax, or national insurance, which is another sort of payroll tax that we pay over here. They won't raise the main rates of those taxes or the additional rates of income tax, but it's sort of interesting to see whether they go for other tax. So people are thinking, will the Chancellor look at the way in which we tax capital gains? They're taxed differently from income. Will she look at inheritance tax?
And we'll have to leave it there because she has an awful lot of choices to make. Dr. Jill Rutter, Senior Fellow at the UK-based Institute for Government, thank you very much indeed.